Here we go. It's another view of the JEJU. Is this on the
Go
go
back.
around?
Go back.
How
No,
far
I
back?
think you went too far to the start of the actual footage.
No, that's
Right
it.
there. Give it just a second. There you
No,
go.
watch this. Watch
Right
when you see it. Because you can see a
Yep.
There it is.
Yep. Is it mover? This is on the go around, right? This film.
Now, is this the same angle as the first one? I'm sorry, the same time as the first angle, or is this when they're doing their teardrop? Because it looks like it's the beginning, at least the full teardrop. But remember we're gonna have to find that original video.
It looks like they're doing the go around, and he the right engine.
He dumped
cough.
the nose. You could see him dump the nose.
Oh yeah.
Get some airspeed back.
Yeah, some more. Looks like some more smoke coming out of the right engine. I mean, he has some thrusties right now. I mean, if he's climbing, and still flying, because the reports were they found bird remains in both engines, right?
I did not hear that, but wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. So I mean, he still has to be under power here. Now, how much power? Anybody's guess. Yeah, I don't know. The 37 degrees is okay.
Dude, I think minimal power.
You think so?
That's
I mean, he flew that whole loop at basically the same altitude, right?
No, you're right. I mean, he did climb and then
exactly
push the nose over.
And I mean, it's flying right now, and I mean, the engine's.
And this thing doesn't have a rat, so it's not like you can look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, the ram air turbine's deployed." There's no rat on the 737.
Yeah, and then that's it.
So here's the original, right? This is from they're already on the go.
They're good, yeah.
So I think this
same video, different angle.
Right. That's what I was trying to find. That's what I was trying to figure out, because otherwise it's showing multiple incidents with that one engine. So whatever happened to the left engine happened prior to them going around.
Right. So the captain called a go around because of the birds. I wonder if that was on the left engine.
Because because see how there's a little bit coming out of that left engine there? Like it's kind of doing the same thing. Nope, never mind. There it is. I mean, I think that is the same as what we see in that video, because it's already cleaned up. He's already going around. Somebody started recording after the fact. So I without a cockpit voice recorder to say what they were thinking, or, I would be interested to see what the engines were producing. Were they?
Well, we know, I mean, you do specific more than me. If they're doing a go around and they hit birds with the right engine, you get the pop like the video shows. It does appear like the thing starts slowing down, and then he's got to dump the nose, right, to get the airspeed back. A 7.3 should have no problems climbing out on one engine, right?
I mean,
it's basically sea level there.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably lighter weight because of the, it's been a long. I think they just flown overnight.
Right. What I'm getting at is, I think it's odd, because in the Airbus, you never have to dump the nose to get speed if you lose an engine, right? You follow the flight directors, but it's always in some sort of, on like a V1 cut, it's always, a positive rate of climb. And that video clearly shows the 7.3. It looks like to me it was kind of losing energy, starting to drift down, and then the captain or whoever was flying the FO pushed the nose down to get the speed back up, and then they kind of stayed down there, right? They didn't climb back up. So I'm curious, man, if the left engine was operating normally, because twin engine airliners are designed to be able to climb out on one engine. I mean,
Or
am I
they pulled
crazy?
it back.
Or they pulled it back. But I mean,
that would not be the first time the wrong engine's been pulled back.
That's true. That's true. But the way they flew kind of level across the horizon and did their teardrop back indicates to me that, I mean, some thrusties were working and keeping them at whatever altitude they were at. It looks maybe they were at, I don't know, 1,000 feet maybe, as they did their whole arc and came around. I still don't know why they wouldn't put the gear down, right? Because we talked about before, but 7.3, right? You can unlock and release the hides and they come down, right?
Well, yeah, but if they had lost everything, including, if you had a dual engine failure and you had no, not even windmilling hydraulics, generators are offline, I could see them being like, we just got to get this thing on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, like, I can
But-
see,
But can you put the gear down?
Oh yeah, you just pull the things. They're
Right.
locked.
Gravity,
it just releases the locks. Yeah.
I mean, that is like from a go around to an attempted landing in an airliner. That is an incredibly quick turn. Like, there's no time to change the runway in the box and like run the landing data and all that stuff. Those guys literally just turned and tried to land. So at least in their minds, the situation must have been pretty desperate. I'm just curious what did they have as far as engines go? Because to me, that single engine climb out wasn't wasn't normal.
There's going to be some Inception level stuff here.
Whoa! Look at these guys.
I'm trying to find the footage. So which engine is
the right engine?
The right engine is producing thrust.
Oh, that's right. Look at that, dude. That's right.
That's what I was thinking, right? So
oh shit, yeah.
We've now have multiple videos of the pop bang, but now we have, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that engine's producing thrust. It's not shut down.
So what happened to the left engine? Was it running? If it wasn't running, why wasn't it running? Did it take birds and they shut it down, or did it not take birds and they shut it down?
I mean, that would go with the dual generator failure.
Yeah.
Right. If you had a bad engine and a shutdown engine.
Yeah.
And it also goes with him pushing the nose over.
That would 100% explain why
the pushover.
Yeah, why they had to, because that is an unusual maneuver in an airliner.
Well, right. So what I'm saying is, if you think about this, when you go through let's say the captain's flying, new FO's inexperienced. This is purely speculative. Like I'm just spitballing here. New FO and our QRC, quick reaction card, what we use. I don't know what this airline is or whatever, but if you've got catastrophic damage to an engine and you're shutting it down, right? Typically, we are, auto throttle off on that affected engine, then take that affected engine, bring it to idle, then cut off. But let's say you didn't. Let's say you didn't confirm because he's already got his hands full, because it's doing its thing, pop, banging, and buzz. Guy reaches up, turns it off, but not be the first. Dude, I've done it in the sim. Like I've reached up and turned the wrong auto throttle off and caught it, but it's easy to see a scenario where somebody does that and now he didn't have time to do a restart, right? A restart is not, hey, flip it back on and it's going to light. There's a procedure for that. So it could very well have been, whoever the pilot monitoring was accidentally shut down the wrong engine. And now you're flying off the you're getting whatever thrust you could out of the compromised motor, which is why it's got that heat plume off of it, the heat blur. And he's just like, let's just get it to the ground. And remember, we don't know what they were saying back and forth. So if you got a frazzled crew member, it's an easy procedure if you're expecting it. But if you ask me without thinking of this incident, hey, do an emergency gear extension, I'd be like, okay.
Where's my ECAM?
Like that's not it's not a memory item. No, it's not. It's something that, because the way the procedure is designed, you're thinking we're going to be straight and level. We're probably going to be, burning down fuel. We got time. It's not a memory item. So whoever's flying, whether it's captain of the FO, I would almost assume it's the captain. And the reason for that is because this guy was an experienced F-16 pilot. And so when you're an experienced Viper guy, you're always thinking what happens when the engine fails and you're doing flame out land, because that's dude, he spent his career thinking this
you're
way.
right.
I mean, I think about 100%. This way all the time.
Yeah.
Law of primacy, right? Yeah. So this thing is not producing the thrust that he's expecting. And he's like, I'm going to get this back to the runway. He's managing his energy coming around. He's an experienced 7.3 guy. He knows how to fly it in that regime, gets it around the corner. He's like, look, I know if I got it on this good piece of concrete, we're probably going to be okay. Right? Not thinking about the berm, not thinking about runway length and stuff like that, but that engine's still producing thrust. So, I mean, probably what we all do as Viper guys, right? More energy is better than no energy. So we maintain our energy all the way around, be higher energy because it's, we always think it's easier to bleed off. You get around that corner and he's just got too much smash. He's got too much smash, goes off the end of the runway, and now you see the end result. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to, we're never, I don't know if we're ever going to know what happened in the cockpit, but just me as a dude that has been through recurrent 4 times in the last, I spend my life in the sim doing stuff like this now. I could easily see a situation where crew coordination breaks down, somebody gets frazzled, wrong thing happens. We don't have time to fix it. We're just going to do the best we can with what we have.
Yeah. No, I mean, people shut down the wrong engine. It's not, it happens. It's not common, but it's not uncommon either.
Yeah. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
No, because that they should have one good engine, take them, normal stuff, fly around out there.
Unless the left engine was worse than the right, but all evidence we've seen is the right engine is having the classic symptoms of a compressor stall. It is the flame out the back.
Yeah,
we have not seen any evidence to suggest that the left engine was doing anything abnormal, at least through the go around.
Does the 800 have a FADEC? Does it have FADECs on the motors? Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing was, in my mind, it was shut down before the go around. Like that's the only way that makes sense.
Yeah, you're right.
That it had been shut down when they
didn't
cleaned
climb
up.
Out. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were, because otherwise there's no point where you're like, there's the big fireball. There's they're getting thrust out of something.
Yeah, you're right. But it's less thrust than they
EEC.
Yeah, it's less thrust than they are expecting, and obviously it's less thrust than it should be putting out, because like I said, it was good of him to push the nose over, because it's better than stalling out and crashing. But
the other part we're going to have to look at is, why did they even do a go around?
Yeah, exactly.
Go arounds are free, but 9 times out of 10,
you're on a stabilized approach, right?
Yeah. But I've also seen the argument like, hey, they went around to avoid the birds and just, you know what I mean? Because like if I see a flock, I'm on short, I'm at 1,000 feet or 1,500 feet, and I see a flock of seagulls and I'm like, I can't get around them to make a stabilized approach. Yeah, I want to go around, because you're avoiding something. And unfortunately, it happened anyway. I could see that. But if they went through it, lost an engine, and then went around, I'm like, dude, I'd probably just land. But that's also something, it's hard to overcome training, because when we do these training events, we're wired to go around, because we practice. We go to the sim to practice go arounds, because go arounds are not, they're always, I think they said 25% of go arounds in real life are screwed up.
Oh yeah. Because mine's 100%, but go on.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you that training scar of everything's a go around, how often do we train? Hey, just land it.
Yeah. The mantra I was taught as a fighter pilot was flyable, landable, stoppable. The really quick, 1 second sanity check. Like, should I land this thing now? Do you have those 3 things? Then yes, just land.
I think though that the reality, we feel for the victims.
Oh, dude.
And whether they made the right choice or the wrong choice, I think the pilots did the best that they could. And history is always the judge. But we look at this with perfect 20/20 hindsight, sitting here at 1G at 0 knots.
Well, in training events, especially in the military, I've been in those scenarios where in my mind, I've done everything correctly and the airplane is not responding as it should. And, you know, it's sad to me because I can sympathize with those pilots because, man, I'm sure in their minds are like, why aren't we climbing? You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? Like the feeling of what's actually happening is not what you perceive is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So a loss of SA.
At that moment where you see the nose pitch down is the moment where that engine got shut down, and it's like, oh crap, you know,
maybe
that's a response. You know, why is the airspeed bleeding as I'm trying to climb in toga?
Yeah. But
you know, because that's a G sensation, you know, because that thing.
Yeah. I know. It's just, dude, it's horrible. I hope we do find out. I mean, last week I was reading, I mean, there's still, I mean, all those families and stuff, they want to know, man, you know, if closure and, you know, mistakes are made, you know, if the pilot's messed up or if, I don't know, you know, that's how we learn.
I hope we can.
I know.
And there's always the third option. Something else went wrong, you know, something that we didn't even know about. I mean, how many times have we had mishaps where there's some airworthiness directive that comes out that says, oh yeah, we didn't know that under this condition, this will happen, and resulting in loss of thrust in both engines. Like, well, that'd have been called MCAS, you know? I mean, like we found out about MCAS through horrific mishaps. Now, that was another carrier in another country that was not adequately briefed or trained on what they were about to do, and they had the rest of their lives to figure it out. And that's very sad that, you know, that happened, but it would not be the first time where a mechanical failure is compounded by human error.
Yeah, exactly.